Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, our beautiful country, and how we're going to fix this bad boy together. Guys, what I'm going to do in this video is a little bit different than my normal videos. There were some elements of our 2-hour live stream that we did today that I wanted to make sure you guys saw. So what I've done is I've taken the cuts of those segments and I put them together in this video. What we're going to talk about is some of the most important stuff possible for our movement that Andrew Clyde brought forward. And then I'm going to give you a little treat at the end, watching Lefties losing it and just the lamentations of the left in the wake of our forward momentum. Everything that I've got for you guys, I hope you thoroughly enjoy. We are changing the culture together. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on, and in the comments down there, let me know if you guys like these supercuts so you can get the 2-hour live stream in a much smaller package. And thank you guys in advance for that feedback. I hope you enjoy. Let's get to it. About it. So I'm going to read you right now Andrew Clyde's statement on what happened last night. Because last night, I told you when we logged off right around midnight Eastern time that there was going to be a lot of arm twisting and there's going to be a lot of maneuvering. And that's exactly what happened. It ended up being one person that didn't switch their votes to no. From no to yes. So that was Brian Fitzpatrick, right? He's a liberal. He's a Democrat with an R on his face just to get elected. So all of the Republicans who you would expect basically went back in from a nay to a yay. All right, here's Andrew Clyde's statement, and this is really important. Actually, Super Chat from Baba Yaga, $2. Please support Clyde's gun store if you can. Honestly, that's not a bad idea. He did some solid work on this. I'm going to walk you through why he changed and what he said, because it is everything. All right, Representative Andrew Clyde. I fully support President Trump's agenda 100%. Throughout this process, I have fought to improve the One Big Beautiful Bill in order to deliver as many conservative and fiscally responsible wins for the American people as possible. As an ardent defender of the Second Amendment liberties, I've also fought to use this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to restore our constitutional freedoms through budget reconciliation. While the current bill removes NFA taxes on suppressors and short-barreled firearms, it falls short of eliminating the registration of the tax because the unelected Senate parliamentarian erroneously deemed the provision violative of the Byrd Rule. And we are going to do a full post-mortem on this. I'm going to show you the heroes and the villains. All right? That's not this video. I'm just catching you up. That's why I offered a common sense amendment to repeal the NFA registration for suppressors and short-barreled firearms. Unfortunately, my Pro 2A amendment was not made in order, meaning it never received a vote in committee or on the House floor. Therefore, I initially made it known that I would vote against the rule, a procedural vote, that's what we were talking about last night, hoping to have the opportunity to amend it to restore the Second Amendment freedoms. All right, this next part, I'm going to set a preface real quickly. I did a live yesterday, not a live, I did a, what did I do? It was either an X post, I think it was an X post that said Representative Andrew Clyde is in a sole unique position to leverage the 2A bills and amendments that we want and bring it to a bigger profile. That was effectively my X, okay? Like 45,000 of you shared that one out. It was incredible, and like that was a lot of impact. This is why right here, and I'm going to walk you through this. And before I do, when I'm telling you guys what's going on with this, a lot of people are commenting that I'm kind of taking the side of this thing in a positive. I'm just telling you what it is. It doesn't mean I support it. In fact, I don't like the way this went down at all. Just prefacing that. All right, let's keep going. I also had the opportunity to discuss this matter, to discuss this critical matter directly with President Trump at the White House, something that would not have happened if he had not held out. I look forward to working with him and his administration to further restore our 2A rights. Stay tuned. That was a breadcrumb. That was a hint. That was a wink. Something's going to happen. Here's the way this works in the back end. I can't guarantee you anything's going to come of that, but here's how it works typically in the back end. I'm not going to vote for your bill. I said it on camera, and I'm not going to be a yes on your procedural vote. Change my mind. Then they get called to the White House. Then they get the calls of the actual president on their cell phones. Then they go, hey, listen, we got some executive orders we can do. We've got some other things that we can play with. You know, what do I have to offer you to get you a vote on this yes to that thing that's important to you? The leverage point of the amendments. He's saying stay tuned. I think that's an allusion to there were some promises made through executive orders, through the DOJ, through the executive branch, through ATF funding, something of that nature. I don't have any details, but that's probably what that was. When additional 2A changes in the one big beautiful bill were not obtainable, this part is so key. I modified my vote on the rule to yes in order to advance historic tax cuts, spending cuts, border security, job creation, and massive deregulation, as well as the removal of the draconian NFA's foundation by eliminating the unconstitutional taxation on suppressors and short-barreled rifles or firearms. This is a very important piece. Removal of the draconian NFA's foundation by eliminating the unconstitutional taxation. Jared put out a video this morning pointing at that as well from GOA. I know for a fact that there are other entities that are going to be doing a very similar approach. So there's going to be a very large push. This entire thing is going to trigger a lot of things that the lefties don't want, to be candid with you. But that's the thing. Went after the foundation because he couldn't get the whole thing. I vowed to fight until the very end, and I meant it. Bottom line, we need more pro-2A champions in Congress, not just anti-gun control Republicans. That is so key. If you hear nothing else in this little letter, that's the big one. We don't just need anti-gun control. We need pro-gun rights. That phrase is why we are focusing on what we're focusing on this channel through the lives, the Substacks, the Katie's channel, all of the long form that we do, the merch, the Second Press, entire community movement. It's about getting pro-gun rights people in place versus the anti-gun control. It's a very important distinction. You have to change the culture to do that, which is what we're doing. That's what you're doing every time we interact on these lives. When you're doing super chats, you're funding that exact same thing. We're going after the culture, and we are just getting started because these people are going to rue the day that they don't do what they're supposed to do. All right, let's continue and wrap this up. Rest assured, I will keep fighting through all avenues, pushing legislative solutions here in Congress, advocating for executive actions, and supporting challenges in court until the 91-year-old infringement of NFA registration is gone for good. I will also be voting yes on final passage because I support fulfilling President Trump's America First agenda and the promises we made to the country. I look forward to President Trump signing the One Big Beautiful Bill into law so we can deliver a safer, stronger, and more prosperous America. All right, this right here is what happened last night. I want to show you some of the Madeline Dean lamentations, if you will, because all the Democrats started just losing their minds over suppressors and short barrels having no taxes. It's actually kind of funny. On one side of the coin on X, the 2A advocates were pissed and are still pissed. And then on the other side, the Democrats are pissed about the exact same thing for a completely different reason. It's actually really interesting to see. But I've got some super chats I've got to catch up to, and then we will start the lamentations, because lamentations are always fun, particularly when they are of the tyrannical persuasion. All right. Freeman with a $5 super chat. We will all die of old age before the courts even thinks about taking up an NFA case and then rule against us. I honestly cannot tell you a time frame. I understand the sentiment, though. It takes forever. I totally understand the sentiment. Keep in mind, they took 100 years to incrementally get us to this point. I'm not saying it's going to take 100 years, but Congress doesn't move fast. The entire thing was meant to move slow, which is why there's so much resistance to speed. Brian Peckinpah, that's a great name, $5 for his super chat. We got punched in the mouth, but we ain't libs. I didn't see that coming. But we ain't libs. Get back up and fight. Ready for the next round. Join Second Press this morning as Patriot Command. Brian Peckinpah, thank you very much. We are grinding so much. And check the exclusive message that I left in there because, guys, I'm telling you, this is the place to be. Secondpress.co. We are making some moves. All right. John Wynn for $9.99 says, anyone else want some tea? Of course, alluding to the Boston Tea Party, which, honestly, I am totally down with a digital Boston Tea Party of which we will create and they will feel. Tater Tot Outdoors with a $5 super chat. How long after signing does tax removal go into effect? In the bill, it is written 90 days. So 90 days from July 4th. That is the answer to the question. Fred Samuel, $10 super chat. We have unity like never before. We have to keep unified to make the lasting changes we all want. Stay informed and stay involved. It's time to put the gun grabbers in their place permanently. Yes! Preach! More of that. The unity that we have is unprecedented. We are pushing that hard, and that's the way. It is the way. All right, super chat with $20 from Wicked Times Tactical. Braden for Congress. Thank you for all your diligence in bringing the 5 on all 2A matters. Thank you very much, Wicked, and I will say this officially on the channel. You can see me say it. That is not off the table. I said it. All right, let's keep on going. $5 for Kajuki. The GOP brought a knife to the gunfight and won. I mean, that's a good way to say it. I can't refute that point. All right, we have caught up on all the super chats. We have 2,300 people. Thank each and every one of you. And now let's keep going to the lamentations of the left, because that needs to be a t-shirt. We might just do it. Whatever. It's okay. Mark that for later. Turn the volume up for you guys, and let's get to the lamentations of the suppressor tax removal from Mettle and Dean, the very woman who in committee said it was a tax. All right, let's get it.
The senators voted on this not knowing exactly what was in the bill. I bet they love the part about no sales tax on silencers. Really, folks? We want to make silencers more plentiful in this country at the behest of somebody like the representative who owns gun stores? Conflicts of interest abound. The taking away of health care. Rural hospitals will suffer. I think of nursing homes. My own in-laws in their final years were in a very humble nursing home.
Oh my God, plead with me and play the violin. Going after Andrew Clyde for owning gun stores. How dare he embrace and spread that Second Amendment goodness. Lamenting about the fact that suppressors are going to be more plentiful, which will fully put them in common use and further aid our quest in getting rid of those draconian rules. Yeah, they see the writing on the wall, and I'm here for it. All right, let's go back to the chief of crazy. And if you did not see the incredible version of this guy, Representative Jim McGovern, made out as a clown in front of Congress, check my X profile, because there's more of that coming. This guy is a joke. All right, let me get this one going as well. Again, the lamentations runneth over. Jim, let's hear some insanity.
So I said to my Republican colleagues, what's wrong with you?
Oh, I'll refresh it.
In this bill, you provide a $2 billion tax. So I said to my Republican colleagues, what's wrong with you?
Oh, come on.
In this bill, you provide a $2 billion tax break for gun silencers, but you cut SNAP benefits for vulnerable families, which, by the way, is on average $2 per person per meal. Jesus Christ, what are you people thinking? I reserve my time.
So he's taking it well then? Okay, he's taking it well then. All right, that was the supercut from today's live stream, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. I am working on some great things. I'm trying to piece this together to give you a better outcome and a better experience and something that's more shareable than a 2-hour live stream. So again, let me know what you guys think in the comments field, and I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.